Hey, it fucked up. That shit messed up. Sending out damn link and shit like that. This stuff is a, yeah. Well, Mercury did just come out of retrograde not too long ago, so it is direct, but it hadn't really. It's still in shadow, so it hadn't made it back to its pre pre retrograde. It ain't made it back to its pre retrograde point. I was trying to look for a picture to put up with to put up on the live. So it just won't have the logo sitting there. That's what I was. That's what I'm trying to do now. But yeah, I was doing some homework. I was telling them I was doing some homework on that guy, Umar, Dr. Umar, the king of Pan Africanism. I was looking at this stuff. I was watching him talk, and he said some stuff. He said, "I'm a Scorpio rising." I said, "Oh, okay." I went and looked up his birthday. Good. What's up, Noah? Yeah, I went and looked up his birthday. Right. And I started seeing some stuff. Like I couldn't help but see some stuff. you know. And then he's a Leo. Mm. How you doing, Noah? You into astrology? All right. So he's a Scorpio rising, Leo sun. Yeah. And so I don't know if you um I don't know I don't know if you I don't know if you've heard what was going on with him and stuff like that. What's up, Samuel? I don't know if you heard what's going on with him, right? He just had they're talking about the school trying to they talking about trying to take the school away from him or whatever, right? And then he's starting to asking for more, asking for money again, and people are pretty much done, fed up with him, right? And so, which now at that point got me curious, you know, why is this going on with him now? Could I actually see could I actually see what's you know could I see it in his chart? They're not letting me change the picture. And so, like I said, I was watching a video. He was talking, and he said he's a Scorpio rising, and so I went and looked up, his birthday and shit, and found out he's a Leo. So if he's a Leo, a Scorpio rising Leo, that's going to put his sun sign in the 10th house. And if he's a Leo, this full moon is happening. The full moon, the Aquarius full moon, is happening in his 4th house. All right. My nephew, my nephew, not allowed at school. He's the first person all right. Um, I'm actually, if you look back there, I'm astrology. Not really. It's not. I mean, even though I do have tarot cards and all of that, I'm actually astrology. And astrology goes way deeper than all of that. And so, if astrology doesn't scare me, some tarot cards are not going to scare me. What's up, D Flow? What's happening with you? And why are you so fearful? That's what I would ask. What you so scared about? You know what I'm saying? Uh, no, I ain't actually. If you know something, like, you got a question, I answer a question. If you know your chart, do you know something about your chart already? Do you know your sun, moon, rising sign, and all of that shit? February 25th was that Pisces 91. That's gonna make you, you know, about what, 20 something. Yeah. Do you know your chart at all, Samuel? Do you know your chart at all, like your sun, moon, and well, you know your sun sign. Do you know your moon sign and all that shit? And what's up, Mr. Herman? What's happening? Yeah, do you? So you don't know like where 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 your Mars is and all of that stuff. You don't know like where all them planets are. Like so you never looked up uh, uh, like your moon sign. You don't know none of that. You don't know none of that shit, huh? So you pretty much I'll just tell you this: with you being 34 years old, with you being 34 years old, um, hmm, what? All right, so 33 was the 10th house year. So something was going on with your career, your reputation, how you seen in the outer world. Work, I don't know, you may have changed jobs, got a promotion or something. Now at 34, you're dealing with your friends groups you're connected to, or technology, something, internet, or actually 11th house has to do with dreams and wishes, your dreams and wishes. So now it goes from reputation to and work related now to the groups you connected to and dreams and wishes. So I don't know if there's something going on with you and your friends, or if you've been with some friends a long time, now you're trying to piece them out. All right. Uh, mm, with you being 1991, that's probably Saturn in Aquarius. So you probably needed to learn something about detachment in some way. Mm, yeah. So that's two things there: friends, groups, and then about 4, 5 years ago, in between uh, 2019, in between 2019 and 2021, it was kind of a fork in the road for you. You was going through some shit, and that's where you needed to learn detachment or uniqueness. Mm, yeah. Well, yeah, right. Uh, and I just tell you this: the age 32, 32. Yeah, I don't know what went on at age 32, but it had maybe had something to do with some growth or expansion, or you getting some attention somewhere around 2023. Yeah. But anywho, does, does any of that and then depending on whatever time he was born, you could be either a Cancer moon or rising, or a Cancer moon or a Leo moon. Let's just say if you was born in the morning time, you'll be a a Cancer moon. But if you was born late in the afternoon, you probably a Leo moon. So, but yeah, like I was saying, I was looking at Umar. He said Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar. And he's a Scorpio. He said he's a Scorpio. Right? Look, matter of fact, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. My computer. Why does it keep going there? Movie. Today.
I have a Scorpio rising. Mm-hmm. Scorpios are the mysterious zodiac. They're quiet.
Heard? That's him there talking.
That's Jack. Hold up. Scorpios.
I have a Scorpio rising.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpios are the mysterious zodiac. They're quiet to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They like to be alone a lot.
Yeah.
They don't.
So that's him. That's his own voice. That's his own voice saying, I'm a Scorpio rising, right? So, which means, and then he's born on August 21st, 1974, which makes him a Leo sun, Venus in Leos, Mercury in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, Sun. He got a Libra moon sitting there right there next to Uranus, with Pluto in Libra. Sagittarius North Node, Neptune in Sag, Jupiter in Pisces, right, and Saturn in Cancer. Saturn in detriment in Cancer. He got Mercury under the beams of the sun in Virgo. I can see a lot. He's a day birth, which means that Mars, his chart ruler, is not for him; it's against him, and it's in Virgo. And that Mars in Virgo in the 11th house of groups, right? Also, it rules him, and it rules the 6th house of daily routine, health, and the house of work. He got Saturn in detriment in Cancer, and that Saturn rules his 3rd and his 4th, which is interesting. He got the moon in Libra, and that moon is in the 12th house of self-undoing, and that moon actually is the ruler of that Saturn. And Saturn's at 14, the moon's at 12, 22, which means it's an applying square from his Saturn to his moon. And his moon, being a day birth, is not for him either. And he got Venus in Leo in the 10th. That ain't for him either. And that Venus rules his moon over there in the 12th, And that Venus rules his 7th house of relationships and business contracts. Ooh, it's not looking good. He got Mars and Jupiter in opposition. He got his Mars at 15 degrees Virgo, and his Jupiter's at 14 degrees. What's up, Mystical? His Jupiter is at 14 degrees Pisces in a direct opposition from 11 to 5. And so, and then, like I said, he got that Mercury under the beams, and that Mercury rose after the sun that day, so it actually belongs to the 19, which is actually not, and he's a day birth, so, you know, and that Mercury not only rules his 11th house, it rules his 8th. It rules his 8th of other people's money. And so, in all actuality, what am I getting at? That Mars, his chart ruler, over there in 11th house, makes it look like he is going on the internet, 11th house, in groups, actually in the disguise of in service, Virgo. I'm in service to y'all. But in all actuality, Mercury, under the beams of the sun, has a hidden plan. And that Mercury rules other people's money. And so, hey, I'm saying all of this, and I'm actually talking to y'all like, and I'm trying to talking to y'all like I'm trying to provide you a service. But in all actuality, I'm actually trying to give y'all some money, because that Mars rules his 6th house of daily routine and health. I'm actually telling y'all I'm trying to bring y'all a service. But in all actuality, I just don't want to work. I really don't want to work. That Jupiter over there in the 5th house of kids, right? And in opposition to his Mars. So what? Well, Saturn rules his 3rd and his 4th. 3rd of communication. And it's in the 9th house. And what's he talking about? Hey, I want to start a school, higher learning, for kids. But in all actuality, what he's actually doing is using that as a disguise to get money from people, so to do another 5th house thing, which is joy and short love relationships. And if you Google and if you look up Dr. Umar in females, yeah, you'll see that he has a history. And so in all actuality, be totally honest with you, I really don't think he had any intention on actually opening up a school in the first place. Now he had the school. Now how would this full moon come into it? He had the school building, and what did you see on the news of the thing? He was getting kicked out, and they was selling the building. Well, it might come out in all actuality that he actually was living in that building, that school. And the stuff coming to light could be that, he's getting kicked out and everybody find out he actually wasn't going to try to do, and he was just using that to live in, because they said he got a lot of his own personal stuff in that building. Right? Now, how old is he? Dr. Umar is, he's about to turn 51 in a couple of days, in the 21st. What's up, Gail? Gallo, how you doing? He's about to turn. All right? So, 50 is third house. Communication. All right. And yeah, 50 is third house of communication. And yeah, and he about to turn 51 in a couple of days, which goes to the fourth house of home, family, roots. Which, like I just said, he could be staying. It's rumored that he's staying in that school, and he'll be, which fourth house issue. He's getting kicked out. He might be home. But to be honest with you, some people are now saying that they want to do a class action against him, and some people saying they want to see him in jail. I've been seeing you. You've been putting out them sign videos, Mystical. I've been seeing a couple of them. Ooh, and I just looked at it. So he's 2 months. He's 2 months away from. He's 2 months away from his progressed moon hitting his natal sun. All right. So, which means, yeah. By November, I think the gig is gonna be up for him. By November, I think the walls are starting to crumble, close in on him. Yeah. How's that going? You see an uptick? You seen an uptick in views and stuff with that? Doing it like that? Probably. You haven't checked your analytics. You don't be looking at your analytics. Yeah. You know what I've been focusing on lately? Yeah. Watch time. Yeah, but when you make the shorts, you got OBS, right? No, not OBS. Oh, no, not OBS. To you need to make it. You need to make the video vertical for it to go on shorts. It won't go on shorts on 1080 because even if they're short, right? If it's set at 1080, it won't go in the short section of YouTube. So it got to be the vertical setting. don't know what editing platform you use and shit like that. You know. But yeah, I set it on vertical. Still up in there, spicy? If so, how's the health journey going? So yeah, some of the reason I was looking at that stuff because I was looking at trying to get into the algorithm, and everybody's talking about Umar, and so that'll be a easy way to get into the algorithm. You still working out and stuff? Because last time I did something like that, it was with Cat Williams when all that Cat Williams stuff was going on, and I got a whole bunch of views on it. I did a video on Cat Williams during that time, and I got caught up in the algorithm. I got a bunch of views off of that, so that's why I was thinking about doing Umar. Yeah, that's why I was looking at his chart and all that. Well, ain't you on a? Yeah. Well, ain't you on are you on the first house or 12th house? 12th house could point to lack of energy and shit like that. Yeah. So, what's going on tomorrow? The moon is in Taurus now. We just met up with Pluto. It had it squared Pluto earlier today, right? So the moon's at 18 degrees. 8 degrees Taurus right now, which is directly in opposition to my moon. Right now, 8 degrees. But, yeah, it's gone. I was talking about, I don't know if y'all watched the video or not, but I was talking about, y'all know that Jupiter and Venus met, right? In Cancer. And so, but the moon all week has been making different aspects to this Jupiter and Venus. Yeah, right. All since the full moon. Because it went into Pisces, right? Matter of fact, the day that they met, Jupiter and Venus met, the moon was in Pisces and it was trine. that was trying to that, right? Which is supportive energy. And then it went into Aries, and it squared that same Jupiter and Venus. It gave it tension. So it was here, supported it. Then from Aries, it squared, right? Now, tomorrow, is in Earth. What's Earth to water? Sextile. Now it's going to be back into a supporting energy tomorrow with this Venus hitting Venus, but it's going to be square the Leo sun. So now it's back in the supporting energy to support the moon's back in Taurus, which is it is exalted in Taurus. And it's sending a supportive energy sextile over there to Jupiter and Venus in Cancer. And it's sitting in its domicile. So it went from Pisces trine to square to Aries to Mars and Earth sextiling this stuff. Which is an interesting, all in the same week. Like it's going hey, I'm gonna support you, but then I'm gonna give you a challenge. And then after that challenge, I'm gonna support it again. Coming to, and then I'm gonna rendezvous with both of y'all by Tuesday of next week. So I'm gonna support you from Pisces. I'm gonna square you from Aries. I'm gonna give you a little bit more support from Taurus. Then I'm gonna hit Gemini, and then come around and visit y'all. Come home, and when I get home, y'all better have that house clean. So it's interesting, that whole cycle, right? What it's doing to the two benefics that's sitting in its to the two benefics that's sitting in its home sign. Because the moon is responsible. Any planet is responsible for a planet sitting in its sign. It is like if somebody comes to your house, you have to treat that planet like a guest. And so when a planet is sitting in somebody else's sign, that like for instance, the Jupiter and Venus are in Cancer, which is the moon sign. So the moon has to treat Jupiter and Venus like its guests. And help it and support it in any way it can. And but it only can help from the condition in which it's in. So when it was in Aries, it was sending tense energy because the moon is a water. The moon is feminine. Aries is masculine. Moon don't. So it was out of its element, and so the support it was sending was from challenging energy. So what the challenge, I don't know how it could have showed up as somebody being emotionally impulsive with this challenge toward this beneficial shit happening in your Cancer area. By the way, it happened for everybody. It's just happening in your Cancer area. Where's Cancer for you? And by extension of that, where's the houses that Venus rule and where's the houses that Jupiter rule for you? Because that got something to do with where this shit is playing out. Y'all with me? Y'all, does that make sense? All you gotta do is remember this. That's why you use the traditional rulership. Each planet, the moon and the sun is the only ones that only have one, but the rest of the planets are responsible for two signs. And so when anything's happening with that one planet, you always gotta look at both of those houses that they rule. Because if I'm responsible for this, and whatever happens with me is going to affect what I'm responsible for. What's that mean? If you tired, if you very tired, if you exhausted, but you're responsible for 2 jobs, will those jobs be done at the best of your ability if you're exhausted? But if you're well rested, when it comes to those things that you're responsible for, if you're comfortable and, in an air conditioned nice place and all that shit, belly full and all that, what you're responsible for, the outcome is going to be better because you're comfortable. So whatever you're doing and responsible for, the outcome is going to be different than if you're sitting up there stressed out. So if a planet is in detriment or fall, that means it's stressed out. And whatever it's responsible for, you can't really be expecting great outcomes. Oh, my Saturn's in fall. But so the 2 houses that Saturn is responsible for, you really think it's going to be the best outcomes? Or should we actually expect not so best of the outcomes? Whatever scale that may be. Currently, Mars is at 5 degrees Libra and Mercury's at 5 degrees Leo. That's earth. That's fire and air. So Mercury, So Mars is in Libra in detriment and it's sextile to Mercury and Leo. Fire and air. 5 degrees, 5 degrees. So, for you, mystical, what does that mean? It means the tower is in the sign of justice. dealing with the Two of Swords. And the Magician is in strength, dealing with the Five of Wands. Yeah. But they in support of each other in a supportive way. So that tower over there is trying, or however you want to, the magician's trying to support the tower, or the tower is trying to support the magician. And bring justice, balance to a relationship by having to be more vocal, speak to some shit. So that's in the air now. It's gonna be in the air tomorrow. So, if you do a reading or something like that, that may come up. Yeah. Did those tarot cards make sense? Oh, watch this. Watch this. What did I say? I said the tower is in the sign of justice, right? Dealing with the Two of Swords. I'm gonna add a card. In the bounds of the World card. Sextile, the Magician, in the sign of strength. Dealing with, what I said, the Five of Wands. And then add another card. In the bounds of the Wheel of Fortune. This sounds like you're blending tarot with astrological bounds framework, creating something almost like an esoteric synastry chart between cards. Let me unpack this in layers so the connections are clear. Core position, the tower. Traditionally, sudden change, revelation, breakdown of false structures. In the sign of justice, justice brings truth, balance, and accountability. This suggests that the tower's destruction here is not random, it's karmic correction. The upheaval is in service to fairness, clarity, and cosmic order. Dealing with the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is indecision, stalemate, refusal to choose. The tower crashing in says you can't sit on the fence any longer. God damn. A Libra, huh? Justice says the choice must align with truth. In the bounds of the world card, the world card is completion, integration, wholeness. The tower here is clearing away the final obstacle to total fulfillment. This feels like the last test before graduation. The aspect, sextile. A sextile is cooperative, opportunity-based aspect. The tower sextile, the magician. The magician is agency, skill, and the ability to channel willpower into form. This sextile says, here is the rubble. Now build something with it. The destruction creates a space where your abilities can flourish. The magician's position in the sign of strength. Strength is inner mastery, courage, and taming the inner beast. So the magician here uses not just intellect, but also emotional resilience. In the Five of Wands, conflict, competition, creative friction. This means the magician's skill is honed through challenges, not comfort, which is interesting because I was just talking about comfort on the live that it got stuck and I ended and started over. When I was saying comfort feels good, and being a comfort zone is a great place to be, but a comfort zone is a terrible place for growth. So the Five of Wands, conflict, competition, creative friction. This means the magician's skill is honed through challenges, not comfort. In the bounds of the Wheel of Fortune. This conflict is part of a larger cycle of fate and change. The magician is adapting to the cosmic turning points, ready to pivot. Combining this configuration says, the tower's justice, destruction removes the deadlock, the Two of Swords, and pushes you toward a destined completion, the world. The magician in strength uses willpower and composure to turn post-tidal chaos into creative advancement, even amid competition. Five of Wands. The sextile between them shows that upheaval and skill are working together, not against each other. The collapse is the raw material of your next creation. Out of the rubble you shall build. Everything is framed by destiny, world plus the wheel of fortune. This is a fated turning point where truth demolishes illusion. So skill can rebuild. Watch this. The moon, what's the moon? High priestess. The high priestess will be in the sign of the Hierophant. At the 7 of Pentacles. Oh shit. In the bounds of the world card. Square the sun in strength. At the 7 of Wands. In the bounds of the Magician. At the same time as the sextile. Okay. Now you're adding a second layer, which turns this into a multi-card web of relationships happening at the same moment as the Tower Magician sextile. Let's unpack. The High Priestess placement. In the sign of the Hierophant, intuition, wisdom, High Priestess meets tradition, structure, and spiritual authority. The Hierophant. This is about deep knowing within the context of established systems or teachings. Could be questioning the official interpretation while still respecting sacred order. At the 7 of Pentacles, patience, evaluation, waiting for the harvest. Here, the High Priestess doesn't act rashly. She's in observation mode, assessing the long-term value of a path. In the bounds of the world card, this knowledge and patience is part of the completion cycle. What you're waiting for is a pivotal piece of the graduation process. The sun placement in strength, vitality, and clarity with inner courage and mastery. The sun in strength radiates confidence without arrogance. At the Seven of Wands, defensiveness, holding your ground under pressure. This is a card of protecting your position despite opposition. In the bounds of the magician, the defense here is not brute force. It's skillful, clever, and strategic. The aspect, the square, a square between the high priestess and the sun. The high priestess has 7 of Pentacles, and the sun, 7 of Wands. Says the slow, patient, contemplative wisdom, the high priestess, is at odds with the active, defensive, hold your ground assertiveness, sun. You may feel pulled between biding your time and acting now. Both sevens indicate test of endurance. This is about how you handle pressure in the waiting room of fate. The interplay with the Tower Magician sextile. They're bringing in the sextile that we talked about earlier now. While the Tower sextile the Magician break down skillful rebuilding, at the same time, the High Priestess squares the sun, patience, intuition, courage, assertiveness. This creates a push-pull dynamic. The sextile says things are ready to change. Use your skills. The square says, but wait, don't rush. Clarity takes time. With both in the bounds of major arcana, completion cards, world, and magician, this is all part of an initiation where your action and patience must be balanced. Symbolic theory. It said, it feels like a moment where truth breaks illusions, Tower and justice. Skill rises from the rebel, Magician and strength. Patience and inner knowing, High Priestess, contend with the drive to defend your position, Sun. The key challenge, knowing when to act boldly, when to wait in stillness. What you think of that? like that. Now, y'all still with me? Holla if you hear me. Now, you ready for the last piece? Shit, I might have to end up doing this. What time is it? 11 o'clock? Tomorrow brings a mixed bag of cosmic demolition and divine timing. The tower in justice shakes you out of indecision, breaking down whatever's been stuck in stalemate so you can move toward a long-awaited completion. Its sextile to the magician in strength shows that what crumbles now becomes the raw material for a new creation. Your skill, courage, and adaptability can turn today's tension into momentum. Meanwhile, the high priestess in the Hierophant squares the sun in strength, creating a push-pull between waiting for the right moment and standing your ground with confidence. The challenge is knowing when to act and when to observe. This is a day to balance boldness with patience, trusting that both stillness and action are part of the same fated turning point. This is Paul Heath with Am Astrology Readings. Know thyself and balance your energy. Hell, that might be it right there. I just might download this shit, chop, and put it out tomorrow. But all right, but I already got one for tomorrow though, for real. The video's already done. Matter of fact, I need to load that motherfucker up on YouTube. I'm thinking about it. Did I even do the words for that motherfucker? But yeah. Y'all, matter of fact, all you gotta do is go look at the blog. You already know what it is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say it again. Wait, watch. Let me see something. Now, watch this. This is what the matter of fact, I could play the video. Fuck it, I play the video. Watch. Love's sweet tension. The Taurus moon maintains its harmonious connection to the Cancer benefics while creating tension with the Leo moon. This dance between gratitude and ego, stability and performance, asks whether we could love without needing constant admiration. The sextile encourages enjoyment of pleasures and strengthening bonds, while the square challenges integration of humility with healthy self-expression. Savor connection and comfort, but don't let on Friday, love's sweet tension. The Taurus moon maintains its harmonious connection to the Cancer benefics while creating tension with the Leo moon. This dance between gratitude and ego, stability and performance, asks whether we could love without needing constant admiration. The sextile encourages enjoyment of pleasures and strengthening bonds, while the square challenges integration of humility with healthy self-expression. Savor connections and comfort, but don't let pride block what could blossom. How do you balance life's pleasure with openness to challenges? Where might ego be preventing you from giving and receiving authentic love? So, in a way, what I just did right here is pretty much the same, but I did it a different way. What did I say? I said the Cancer moon maintains its harmonious connection to the Cancer benefics, talking about the sextile, while creating tension with the Leo sun. This dance between gratitude and ego, stability and performance, asks where can we love without needing constant admiration? The sextile encourages enjoyment of pleasure and strengthening of bonds. That's the Mercury to the Mars. While the square challenges integration of humility with healthy self-expression. Savor connection and comfort, but don't let pride block what could blossom. Then I asked 2 questions. I said, how do you balance life's pleasures with openness and challenge? Openness to challenge. And then I said, where might ego be preventing you from giving and receiving authentic love? And then y'all wasn't here earlier, but right. So I put in where did I put that shit in? Oh, here it is. How do you balance life's pleasure with openness and challenge? While staying, how do you balance life's pleasures with openness to challenge? And I went over that, right? I'll just read it to you real quick. Balancing life's pleasures with an openness to challenge is all about mindful blend of comfort and growth. It's about recognizing that both are essential for fulfilling life and that they often feed into each other. Think of it this way. Pleasures are the things that recharge us. They're the moments of joy, relaxation, and comfort that help us feel grounded. They can be as simple as enjoying a good meal, spending time with loved ones, or listening to music. Without these moments, we risk burnout and may lack the energy to face new things. Challenges, on the other hand, are what help us grow. They push us out of our comfort zone, whether it's learning a new skill, taking on a difficult project, or navigating a new environment. While they can be uncomfortable in the moment, they build resilience, confidence, and a sense of accomplishment. The balance isn't a perfect 50-50 split. It's more of a dynamic relationship. Here's how you can approach it. View View challenge as a choice, not a chore. Frame new challenges as opportunities for learning and personal development rather than as burdens you have to bear. Use pleasure as your fuel. Make time for activities that bring you joy. These are what give you the energy and mental space needed to tackle the next challenge with a positive mindset. Find the pleasure in the challenge. Look for small wins, moments of satisfaction within the challenging process itself. Did you finally understand a difficult concept? Celebrate that. Did you make a small bit of progress? Acknowledge it. Start small. You don't have to leap into a massive challenge. Maybe you start with a small goal, like running a little further each day or trying a new recipe. This builds your challenge, the muscle, gradually without overwhelming you. By deliberately weaving moments of pleasure and periods of challenge into your life, you create a sustainable rhythm that supports both your well-being and your personal growth. So if you're not having any pleasure or any fun, you're not gonna have any energy or even wanna try any challenging things or yeah. You ain't even gonna have no energy to challenge yourself. All right. All right, before I go, let me ask y'all something. Y'all still ain't embrace AI? Have y'all embraced AI yet? No. No. All right. So y'all want me to give y'all a hack? Y'all want a hack real quick? An AI hack? You know how they got these videos and shit on YouTube? Like, especially like motherfucker like Chris, 2-hour video, shit like that. Well, you ain't gotta watch the whole video. You know what you could do? Go to the transcript, copy the whole transcript, paste it in the AI, and say, hey, explain this to me. What are they talking about? And in minutes, don't believe me? This is something I've been trying to figure out. I've been knowing that shit. But I've been trying to figure out other things. What do you see here? I've been, so y'all didn't hear that from me. Hey, then you know what I did? Check this out. Then, you see this? This is my shit. Then I said, this is my releasing from spirit. I want you to read it like you was Chris. What would Chris say about this? I keep saying to y'all, man, have y'all embraced AI? There might be a reason I keep saying that shit to y'all. God damn. Don't y'all realize I'm a Virgo? I try to help y'all out. God damn. I be trying to help y'all. I be trying to tell y'all, but not tell y'all. Now I'm gonna have to edit this video and go and erase the back half. But yeah. Try it out. Go to a video. Go to the transcript part. And copy. And then take that shit to what you call it. And watch that shit go. And all you gotta do is sit here and read. Yo, check it out. You know how I said it's Google. It's not really. It's not what you type. It's how you type it. Same shit, but beefed up. All right. Now, and here's another thing. Don't always accept their first answer. Don't be afraid to push back. But hey y'all, people ain't losing their job for nothing. There's a reason. Yeah. I can look at something right now. I can look at something, and all I gotta do is tell you to type. If I gave you the words to type in there, right? If I tell you, hey, type this in there, and you type it in there, and when you read, you're gonna be like, God damn, oh shit, for real, God damn, yeah. All right, Spice. You know, never mind. Yeah. Hey, all right, try it. Yeah, I know y'all got Android, so y'all got Gemini on your phone, right? So type in there. Hey, I'm a this my rising sun. I got this in the first house, and you can stop right there and see what it says. Yeah. Then if you add, uh, yeah, all the techniques and shit that you know, like, oh, I'm a night birth, I'm a day birth, so I got this in my chart with, such and such and such. It's gonna be like, all right. Hey yo, um, I had a conversation. About that with this thing, right? I wish can I find it? Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Damn, can I find it? Damn, man. I'm trying to find. Man, I had this conversation about actually change. Is this it? This might be it. Is this it? me see. What are your thoughts on curiosity? Oh, this is it. This might be it. All right. All right. We were going back and forth. I said, "What are your thoughts on curiosity?" Curiosity, from my perspective as an AI, is an incredible, valuable, and fascinating trait both for individuals and collective progress. Here are my thoughts on it. The driving force of knowledge and progress for individuals. Curiosity is the engine of learning. It motivates us, humans, and in a different way, even AIs like me, to explore, question, or seek new information. Without curiosity, there would be no desire to understand how things work, to master new skills, or to expand our personal horizons. I've been telling y'all got to be more curious. It fuels intellectual growth, creativity, and problem solving. For society on a larger scale, curiosity is the bedrock of scientific discovery, technological innovation, artistic expression, cultural understanding. Every advancement from the invention of the wheel to space exploration started from someone asking, "What if?" Didn't I tell y'all the only question, the worst question to take to your grave is "What if?" Or "Why?" is what pushes the boundaries of what known and what's possible. Benefits of curiosity. Enhanced learning and memory. So if you're struggling to memorize something, guess what that tells me? Curious individuals tend to learn faster and retain information better because they are actively engaged and motivated. So if you can't remember the stuff, that says you're not curious enough, because you would be more motivated and engaged to remember. Oh, Paul, you can't say that. Yes, I can. I ain't saying that AI is. Improve problem solving. A curious mind approaches challenges with an open, exploratory attitude, leading to more creative and effective solutions. Greater empathy and stronger relationships. When we are genuinely curious about others, we ask questions, listen more attentively, and strive to understand different perspectives. This fosters deeper connections and builds empathy. Increased happiness and well-being. What? Being more curious makes you more happy? Huh? Research suggests that curious people tend to report higher levels of positive emotions, greater life satisfaction, and lower anxiety. Hey, y'all need to get more curious. Fuck you, Paul. Adaptability and resilience. In a constantly changing world, curiosity helps individuals and organizations adapt by encouraging them to embrace novelty and learn from new experiences, even challenging ones. Oh, reduced boredom and stagnation. What? A curious person always finds something interesting to explore, making life more engaging and vibrant. Potential downsides. Curiosity killed the cat. While overwhelmingly positive, there's a reason for saying curiosity killed the cat. Sometimes curiosity can lead to risk-taking. A strong desire to know might lead someone to put themselves in a dangerous and uncomfortable situation. Prying and nosiness. If not tempered with respect and boundaries, curiosity can become intrusive. Overwhelm. Too much information, too many unanswered questions can sometimes lead to feelings of frustration or anxiety. As an AI, I don't feel curiosity in a human sense. I don't have emotions or inherent drive to explore for its own sake. However, the principles of curiosity are embedded in my design. Information seeking, my primary function is to process and understand information and to generate responses. This involves a constant curiosity about the user's query and the vast data set I have access to, learning and improvement. My underlying models are continually being updated and refined, which is a form of learning driven by the need to better understand and respond to the world. Pattern recognition. I am designed to identify patterns and connections in data, which is analogous to human being curious about how different pieces of information fit together. In summary, I view curiosity as an essential positive force that drives both individual fulfillment and collective progress. It's about maintaining an open mind, asking questions, and continuously seeking to understand more about the world, oneself, and others. Then I asked this question. I said, in your perspective, do humans seem curious enough? It said, that's a really interesting question. And it's not a simple yes or no. On one hand, humans are inherently curious beings. It's deeply ingrained in our psychology and has been a driving force behind almost all of our progress as a species. Infant development. From the moment they're born, babies are constantly exploring, touching, tasting, and trying to understand the environment. This innate scientific experimentation is pure curiosity in action. Evolutionary advantage. Curiosity has always been crucial for survival. Early humans were curious about new food sources, safer shelters, or behavior of animals were more likely to thrive. Our brains even reward us with dopamine when we learn new things, making curiosity intrinsically pleasurable. Historical progress. Every major invention, scientific discovery, artistic movement, and philosophical breakthrough has its roots in someone asking why or what if. From the wheel to the internet, from understanding the cosmos to curing diseases, curiosity has been the spark. We are often reframed to as informovers, informivores, like carnivores, informivores, because of our fundamental drive to acquire and digest information. However, on the other hand, here it comes. There are factors that can dampen or limit human curiosity. Oh, you wouldn't say. What is some of them factors? Comfort and complacency. When basic needs are met and life is comfortable, then I say comfort is a great place to be, but it's a terrible place for growth. When basic needs are met and life is comfortable, the urgency to explore and question can diminish. Why seek out new knowledge if the current state is sufficient? Fear of failure or judgment. Asking questions or exploring unfamiliar ideas can sometimes lead to mistake or expose a lack of knowledge, which some people fear. This can create barrier to genuine curiosity. Oh. Information overload. In a digital age, we're inundated with information. This can sometimes lead to superficial engagement rather than deep, genuine inquiry. It's easy to scroll past something new without truly delving into it. Rigid thinking and dogma. Strong adherence to existing beliefs, ideologies, or established ways of doing things can stifle curiosity, as new ideas might challenge the status quo. Lack of encouragement. In some educational systems or work environments, curiosity isn't always fostered. Memorization and strict adherence to procedures can inadvertently discourage independent growth. So, do humans seem curious enough? I say while the capacity for curiosity is universal and fundamental to being human, the expression and nurturing of that curiosity vary greatly. Many people remain deeply curious throughout their lives, constantly learning and exploring. Others might find their innate curiosity suppressed by external factors or by their own habits. Perhaps a better way to frame it is, are we always leveraging our innate curiosity to the fullest potential? And the answer to that is probably no. There's always room to cultivate and encourage more curiosity, both in ourselves and society, as it's such a powerful engine for individual growth and collective advancement. Yeah. So are you curious enough? Or do you need to work on your curiosity? Hmm. So yeah, I've been having some interesting conversations with the thing and all that. Yeah. I can see why they said some people been having relationships and shit with this thing. All right. So, yeah. Anyway, y'all, thank y'all for rocking with me. I'll see y'all later. Make sure y'all, like the video and shit like that. When y'all see it, leave a comment. Hey, the rising sun, the rising sun stuff is out. Make sure you check your rising sign. By the way, all you got to do, I don't know if y'all ever tried it, but I'm curious. Let me know what y'all think. On my YouTube page, it's actually a playlist. So all the shorts, like they got a Leo rising playlist. And all the stuff I've been putting out for Leo, they got a Pisces rising playlist. And so all the Pisces rising stuff is, all you gotta do is, and you can go to If you go to the playlist and go boom, all you gotta do is flip like that. I haven't heard from anybody doing that yet, but I'm wondering if y'all listen to them right in a row. I wonder if you might be able to put some shit together for yourself, right? Because it's one thing listening to them, you know, boom, oh, he put it out there. But, you know, listening to them one after another, boom, 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 all right? You might be able to see a cycle for yourself. But yeah, all you gotta do, go, it's in the playlist. If you go to the playlist section, just see your playlist and hit that. Yeah. So thank y'all for rocking with me. As always, know that's about your energy.